Well, hello there, tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today I will be going over what Wargaming has released this morning in terms of news about the upcoming April update, which will be out mid-April. Now, I did see, obviously, I saw this news this morning, and I know that a couple of other YouTubers have already made videos about this, but because I work, I was kind of trapped, and I had to make this video late. So, yeah, sorry about that, but it is what it is. So here, Wargaming released two news updates about what is coming out in April. So the first one, I will read this, and then I will basically explain what it means, because it looks almost like ChatGPT wrote this damn thing. So, yeah. But anyways, it says, the system for recovering sold collectors and premium tanks for gold has been super user-friendly for a long while. Players have been parting with their treasures, injecting free gold into the game's economy, and unintentionally tilting the economic. As some of you might have noticed, we've been transitioning premium tanks to collectors. As a result, garages are now getting more crowded with them, and the problem is only growing. To keep the game's economy healthy, we are adjusting the prices for reclaiming any premium and collector tanks in the next update. They'll be doubling the sell price. Double. Yeah, you heard that right. Previously, you could sell tanks for 50% of their value and buy them back at 100% for researchable tanks, 60% for premiums, and 50% for collectors. Going forward, you'll be able to sell tanks for 50% of their value and repurchase them at 100% for all vehicle types. Tanks sold before the next update can still be purchased once at the current prices. So what this means and what they are trying to say here, unfortunately, they didn't really do a good job of making this not sound like complete gibberish. But anyways, basically the gist of what they're saying is currently, as you all know, you can sell tanks for 50% of their value if they are researchable tanks. So let's say you have a tech tree that you sell, you will be getting 50% of the credits back for it. And then if you wanted to rebuy that tech tree tank, you can buy it back for the same price that you would fully buy. So 100% of its value back. So, yeah, 100% of the price. So if you sell a tier 8, you'll be getting 50% of the credits back for it. And then if you want to rebuy it, you have to spend double that, 100% of the tank's value initially to buy it back, which is fair enough. And 60% for premiums. So you'll be getting 60% of your value back for premiums, and then you have to buy them back at 100%. And 50% for collectors, which is, yeah, that's normal. So this is all stuff that's right now in the game. And going forward, they are basically making it so every tank will sell for 50% of their value, and then you'll have to buy it back for 100% of its value. So what that means is right now, if you are to, let's go into game right now. So if you are to sell, let's say your AMX, or actually I have a couple of tier 10s that I have sold already, so we can take a look at those. So let's say you sell your V4 or T22, you will be selling them and getting 7,500 gold for them. And if you want to buy them back right now before the update, you can buy them back for the exact same amount of gold, 7,500. However, after the update, Wargaming is going to be doubling the price that you have to spend in order to buy back a tier 10 premium or any collector vehicle. So basically, if after the update you sell your tank like the V4, you're going to be getting the same price, 7,500 gold back for it. But then if you want to rebuy it, you'll have to basically double that. So you will be spending 15,000 gold to get your V4 back, which is an absolute hit to people who like to sell their collector tanks if there's a new event that comes out. So it really hurts that aspect of the game. And so if you were planning on like saving up a bunch of these collector tanks that are being converted from premiums in order to use that gold for events, yeah, hopefully you don't like those collector tanks that you're going to be selling, because if you want to buy those back, I mean, good luck to your wallet. Your wallet's not going to be very happy with you. So basically, yeah, after the update, that change will be implemented. However, as you read or as you heard from the final line in this box of text here, tanks sold before the next update can still be repurchased once one time at the current prices. So basically, like in my garage, as you can see here, let me just go back. Like in my garage, as you can see here, where I have sold a couple of my tier 10 premiums, these prices will not double after the update, since I have already sold these tanks before the update came out. So I will still be able to buy them once for the same price that I sold them for. So Wargaming isn't completely screwing players who sell their tanks before the update completely. You will still be able to buy them again, like I said, one time for the same price that you sold them for. But after that, if you choose to sell them again, which I probably will not be doing, then you will have to basically pay double to get them back, which is... It's annoying in some way, but in another way, I do actually understand why Wargaming is doing this. And it's because from a business standpoint, they're losing a lot of money when people basically save up a ton of collector tanks over the years, and then they basically just sell them all at once for things like the Christmas event, and then they get the Christmas tank for free when Wargaming is hoping to actually make a profit off of you. And then when people don't buy those premium tanks back, because they're obviously premium tanks that people don't really care about that they're selling, then Wargaming's just basically losing money off of that. So from a business standpoint, I do understand why they are doing this. And unfortunately, though, from a player's standpoint, this is really, really annoying. Because obviously you won't be able to sell your tanks and then buy them back for the same price. So yeah, be more careful with which tanks you are going to be selling after the update, if you even choose to sell them at all, which I don't recommend. But yeah, really pick and choose, if you do want gold, which premium tanks you're going to be selling, because you basically will have to pay double to get them back after the update. Now, this isn't a completely horrible thing, although it is really annoying. The fact that Wargaming is actually converting most of the premium tanks to collectors is still going to make it where the majority of tanks that you get from crates now, you will actually get gold back for instead of credits, which is a nice part about this. So it is good and bad in the same way, because again, so if you're getting a lot of tanks that you already own, you're going to be making gold off of this if you do buy crates, and also in events where there are tanks that come out that you might already have, you are going to basically make profit off of that if you do grind these events that come into the game, where they're tanks that will now just be collectors instead of being premiums from before. So yeah, it's not all bad, and 50% of me doesn't want this to even be a thing and doesn't really understand why Wargaming keeps changing things that don't really need to be changed. But then the other 50% of me does see this from a business standpoint, which is where they're seeing this from, and they're just trying to make as much money as they can off of a video game which is monetized, which I completely understand. So yeah, that's the first change. Now, getting into the main change that I am super excited for, this is the matchmaking change. Yes, you heard that right. The mid-April update will have a matchmaking change. So, I will read this out now. The old matchmaking system is making a comeback in the next update. Yes, you heard that right. The old matchmaking is returning. We're switching back to the totally random player selection in the regular mode. Rest assured, we're still gathering data and feedback on the new matchmaker in the current update. Once we've crunched the numbers and gone through your insights, we'll take a closer look at the outcomes. A huge shout out to everyone for your feedback and intense discussions. This is a big deal for us, making such a significant change to the matchmaking rules for the first time in Blitz history. Naturally, our goal is to refine this aspect of the game, making it better and more fair for everyone. So yes, as I said before, the old matchmaker is returning mid-April, which is, oh my gosh, hallelujah, finally, we're getting the matchmaking that shouldn't have been changed in the first place back to us. And the second part of this is that they are still gathering data on the current matchmaker version. So what that means is there was a previous message that Wargaming put out like a week ago saying that they're gathering data to see how they can change the matchmaker from its current version, which is completely broken right now. So they're still going to be gathering that data. And that kind of scares me a little bit in some ways, because who knows what Wargaming is going to think is a valid change for the Matchmaker. So as of right now, yes, the old Matchmaker is coming back, but it's not going to be permanent. As we can see, they are still trying to find a solution to it, which shouldn't be all that difficult, because from what I can remember, a lot of YouTubers sound like broken records and are basically giving Wargaming the feedback they need for how to change the Matchmaker. As me and a couple of other YouTubers state in basically all of the videos relating the Matchmaker, the way to fix the Matchmaker is quite simple, and it's basically to balance out the tank types. So let's say your team has 2 mediums. Well, then their enemy team will have 2 mediums as well. And same with tank destroyers, heavies, and light tanks. That, to me, is just such a simple solution to this whole problem. And then keeping the rest of the Matchmaker random, because you don't want to be in a situation like Wargaming has set up right now, where you as a 70%er get a bunch of 45%ers on your team to then balance out the 55% entire enemy team that you are facing, which is just absolutely broken and completely rigged against good players, and basically players of any skill level. Because right now, even 45%ers are getting screwed by this change, because they are getting put on teams with 70%ers. And guess what? That means that they are going to have one really good player on their team, and they're going to be up against an entire team of 55%ers who are just all better than them. So they're basically going to lose the game if they have a really good player on their team. So yeah, this whole matchmaking change, I'm really, really glad that Wargaming is finally reverting it. And I'm so thankful for everyone for voicing their opinion on this. This wouldn't have been reverted if people didn't voice their opinions and get mad at Wargaming for this dumb change. So I'm really glad that a bunch of YouTubers made videos on this and got this switched back. Yeah, so hopefully they actually properly balance the Matchmaker, whether that be by making tank types even, or if they can find another solution that doesn't just completely break the Matchmaker. Or at least test their changes before they release it into the public Matchmaker. Like, that would have been the best way. Just get people to test the Matchmaker separately from the normal game and see how it works out and see how people actually like it before they completely ruin things for the majority of their players. So yes, again, I'm very, very excited for this change to be implemented, and finally, Wargaming will be making the game a lot less painful for players to actually play. And I'm assuming that some players will be returning to the game that previously quit because of this Matchmaker. So overall, I think this update's going to be pretty good for the game. And I honestly don't really care about the whole premium tank selling thing. Like, I understand why Wargaming's doing it, and I don't really, for the most part, sell my premium tanks. So basically, I'm going to buy back these tier 10s that I sold, and I won't be really selling premium tanks in the future. It's just not worth it anymore. But I don't really care about that anyways, as Wargaming, again, they're giving us more collector vehicles anyways. So, I mean, when events come out, it's just a flat W. For players who have lots of tanks in their garage already. And yeah, anyways, that's about it for today's video. For any of you out there who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please, I recommend you do so, because it's a great way to support my channel, and you can stay up to date on when I post almost daily. Anyways, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.